Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host, Owen. Guys, bringing you all the latest news, all the latest views, everything from your favourite football team and the best football team in the world, the only team that counts. Remember, this channel is for the fans, by the fans. Myself and Victoria, obviously huge Rangers fans. I have been a Rangers fan since 1987, and Victoria obviously has been a Rangers fan all her life. Now, if you want your daily Rangers fix, this is the channel to come to. All you need to do is hit that sub, ring that notification bell, set it to all so you don't miss out on the great content. And if you can give the video a like, it would also help. Plus, if you do want to pay a little bit of money, you can join the channel for 99 pence. It is down below, or it's on the channel homepage. Okay, let's get on with why you all came here. You came here for your Rangers fix. You came here for your Rangers news. So let's start off by talking a little bit about the greatest Ranger ever, as voted by the fans in 1999. The greatest Ranger of all time, Mr. I feel like calling him Sir John Greig. I know he's not been knighted yet, but he is to me Sir John Greig, and there he is pictured with the European Cup Winners' Cup, obviously, which was part of that team that won the European Cup Winners' Cup in 1972. Absolute legend. Well, why am I talking about John Greig this morning? No, he's not making a comeback. He's a bit old for that. He's not going to be running out at Ibrox and playing alongside Connor Goldson. Although I think he could probably still do a decent job even at his age. They say talent never ends. Anyway, this is why I am talking about John Greig this morning. The greatest ever Ranger, John Greig, has been awarded a CBE in Her Majesty, not Her Majesty. Oh my word. I know this is a random age of genders, but no. His Majesty the King's first birthday honours list. Everyone at Rangers FC is extremely proud of John, the club's current honorary life president, who has been recognised for his services to association football and the community in Scotland. That was tweeted out by Rangers yesterday. So news that John Greig is receiving an award from His Majesty King Charles III for his outstanding service to football, his outstanding service to the community and charity works that he does. John Greig, who is... You know what? He's quite like anything other, isn't he? I mean, you wouldn't get a John Greig today, a one-club man, someone who's going to stay at one club for his entire career. It's very, very rare in modern football that happens. And, John made, over 400 appearances for the club, scored 87 goals as well from defence. Played 44 times for his country as well, managed Rangers, as we know, between 78 and 83. But not only that, it's right, his services to football, what he achieved in the game, his UEFA Cup Winners' Cups in 1972, 5 times Scottish Premier League champion, 6 times Scottish Cup winner, 4 times League Cup winner, Footballer of the Year, inducted into the Scottish Hall of Fame, in the Rangers Hall of Fame. He is just outstanding. He is the man. And you know what? Modern players, new signings, if you want to know what it is to be a Glasgow Rangers player, look at John Greig. That is what it is. If you want to be a true legend, if you want to be the greatest ever, if you want to, get these, get our fans to fall in love with you, be John Greig. Emanate. That's the right word. Follow in the footsteps of John Greig. He is just outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. So, as the tweet that came out yesterday said, obviously getting this CBE from King Charles III. John, absolutely massive congratulations. Very well earned, very well deserved. You are just a legend, absolute legend. And on behalf of all the fans and on behalf of Glasgow Rangers Nation, John, we love you. You are fantastic. Thank you so much for all you've done for our club over your time with the club. And you've been with us forever and a day. And, thank you so much for everything you do for our club. You really are a legend. Well, what else is there to say? What I'd love to know is get your, if you're watching this and you've actually seen John play, and get those comments below. I'd love to know your memories of John Greig, and any other else memories of John Greig, thoughts about John Greig. His congratulations to him as well would be great. That would be fantastic. So well done, John. Absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. You are the main man. Okay, so let's go to the modern player now. Let's talk about... Sorry about that. I had to sneeze. I apologise. Sneezing attack in the middle of a video, very unprofessional. Anyway, let's talk about some modern players now and what is going on at the club. Let's talk first of all about James Tavernier and Antonio Colak. Now, as you know, Antonio got married very recently to his girlfriend, obviously, and they are on honeymoon at this moment in time. But here is the kicker, guys. When you're a professional footballer, being a professional footballer never ends. And those of you who are married out there, those of you who've been on your honeymoon, how would your wife react to the fact that during the day you go off training with a trainer and one of your teammates rather than spending your honeymoon with her? How would that go down with your wife? I'd love to know what your wife would say about that. I know. Okay, look, I'm not married anymore. I'm divorced now. But I know when we'd gone on our honeymoon, and I said to my ex-wife, "Oh, I'm going off to train today. You're on your own." I think I might have been hung, drawn, and quartered for saying that. I definitely think that would have been the case. However, at this moment in time, Antonio Colak has linked up with his teammate James Tavernier to train to get ready for the new season. Even though he is on his honeymoon, he is still putting in the effort and training, getting in out there, proving himself, improving his fitness, improving his shooting, really working hard on all of those key elements of being a professional footballer. It's absolutely just fantastic. Well, it's fantastic for us to see, isn't it, as fans, that the player is taking it so seriously. He's part of what is called a brutal fitness regime, spending his honeymoon with James Tavernier. But that is rather bizarre, isn't it? So the first picture you can see them running is doing 150-meter shuttle runs, really brutal in the burning heat. Then working on his shooting as well. It was very tough going. It's out in Dubai, apparently. That's where Tavernier and Colak are. Obviously, Colak on his honeymoon. It was after he spent the first couple of days with his wife, but now is with James Tavernier more and more, working on a brutal off-season fitness camp with other footballers and sportsmen from across the world with a fitness coach. Colak apparently has vowed to keep hold of his number 9 shirt, even though Michael Beale has brought in new players like Sam Lammers and is obviously on the verge, hopefully, of signing the likes of Searle and maybe as well interested in Josh Maja. But it's great to see that Colak has been putting in some hard graft, training in the sweltering Dubai heat. That's in between, obviously, lazing around the pool with his wife, Diana. The man behind this organisation, apparently the organisation is called Elite Sports Performance Dubai, is Jamie Woolard. And he's been putting Colak and others through their paces to keep them sharp and fit over the summer. And he's been sharing clips of it on his Instagram account. There is a few other footballers there at this moment in time. Scott Sinclair, I'm sure you don't want to hear about. Luke Freeman, another player who plays for Luton Town. Now, what they've been doing, well, the fitness program combines running, ball work, video clips, 150-meter shuttle runs, passing drills, shooting exercises, dribbling exercises, drills working on their first touch. Just lots and lots of fitness football work, which is just great to see. There is pictures, obviously, as well from Diana Colak on her Instagram of Antonio Colak relaxing in the pool and sitting out enjoying the nightlife. But it's great to see that Antonio and obviously James as well are working hard on their fitness and getting ready for the new season. There seems to be a real determination there from the skipper and also from Antonio to get themselves ready, to get themselves fit, and to get themselves good to go for the new season. Well, fantastic to see. Anyway, let's move on and talk about another striker. Now, obviously, the main striker links obviously was Sam Lammers, who now has joined Glasgow Rangers, and the second link obviously is Searle, and that does seem to be progressing. And it's thought that Rangers could get that deal done as early as next week. Still no more news on Josh Maja. However, Maja obviously is kind of out of contract at this moment in time. Kind of out of contract in as much as he is obviously, Bordeaux not going well. Bordeaux might not be going up. It's all gone to the Court of Appeal anyway, so it's all still up in the air. So movement on Josh Maja is going to be very hard at this moment in time. Just to remind you of what the situation is, Bordeaux, obviously, if they get promoted back to Ligue 1, will want to retain the services of Josh Maja. However, if they stay in Ligue 2, they will not be retaining the services of Josh Maja and not taking up the 12-month option, and Maja will be free to leave on a free transfer. However, French League obviously ruled that after the Rodez player was assaulted by a Bordeaux fan, the game would be handed to Rodez and Bordeaux would not be going up. Bordeaux, of course, have appealed this decision and it is all going through the Court of Arbitration now. So at the moment, it's still very much up in the air, and the whole Josh Maja situation is very much up in the air as well. Now, one player who had been linked earlier in the summer was the Greek international Anastasios Douvakis, who currently plays for FC Utrecht. Now, apparently he was also garnering a little bit of interest from that lot across the city. So certainly someone that, that we don't want to go across the city. We don't want to, him to go and join that lot. That's certainly not what we want. So, what is the situation with Douvakis? Now, Douvakis was recently talking to Dutch media about his future and talking about where his future lies. It's obviously a very complicated situation. We don't know for a fact whether Rangers are genuinely interested in Tassos Douvakis or whether or not he is going to come. But Douvakis was talking to the media, and from what he was saying is that he was talking very much in the terms of actually leaving the club. The 23-year-old who scored 22 goals in the Eredivisie last season and is a Greek international performed very, very well indeed. Now, he told Dutch media in a recent interview, "I want to be part of the European elite one day. Sometimes you have to take a step forward, get started in a bigger league." And I think we can quite categorically say past the SPFL is not necessarily a bigger league, but Rangers are definitely part of the European elite. That Europa League run is just testimony to that fact. He then went on to say, "The chance that I will leave this summer is greater than that I will stay, but everyone will understand that I want to get to the top. I have to get to the top." Absolutely fantastic to hear such determination from the young man that he wants to get to the top, that he wants to become a great player, that he wants to obviously score goals and prove himself to be one of the best strikers in Europe. And that's the sort of player we need at the club. We need someone who is determined, someone who wants to win, someone who wants to get better, someone who wants to succeed. And it seems to me that Tassos Douvakis definitely has that drive and that determination to succeed. So, I genuinely hope there is a truth in that rumour that, we were interested in him or are interested in Tassos Douvakis. Yes, I know we've passively signed Dessers and Lammers, and I know that may mean Colak leaving or such like, but I really do think that we do need to go after this kid. He does seem to be a very, very talented player and someone who I think would massively add to this Rangers squad. I've watched tape, I've watched some videos of his games, watched a couple of games, just to sort of get an idea of him. And he's got good movement, he's sharp, he's got a good eye for the goal, brings others into play well. He's just a quality player. So again, the sort of player we need at the club. Obviously, a former Rangers striker, that man, yes, Alfie Morelos, never far from the media, never far from the column inches, is he, Alfie? He loves a column inch or two, or maybe he doesn't, it's just the media. It looked like Alfredo Morelos may have been off to Spartak Moscow, not a place I'd personally want to go at this moment in time. Definitely don't want to go to Moscow with obviously the ongoing situation out in the Ukraine. But Spartak Moscow apparently have taken the offer off the table for the Colombian. So it does look like he is not going to be going there. There are reports in Colombia that Alfie is attracting interest from Everton, Nottingham Forest, Sevilla, Fenerbahce, and an unnamed Serie A side. Now, no surprise, I don't think that Forest are interested, obviously, with the current sporting director at Nottingham Forest being ex-Rangers sporting director and figure of a little bit of contempt, Ross Wilson. But yes, the Spartak Moscow offer is now off the table. I think that's probably best for Alfie, who would want to go to Russia at this moment in time, not the place you'd want to end up, really, with everything that is obviously ongoing out there in Eastern Europe, and with obviously the situation in the Ukraine, it's not the safest place in the world to be. So I think Alfie's obviously not going there is probably better for Alfie. Obviously, the ongoing Jose Cifuentes saga rumbles on. It seems to be the new Jack Butland saga, isn't it? It's the is he, will he, won't he, is he, isn't he? It's all up in the air in terms of that. We don't know whether he wants to. Well, we don't know whether he's going to come or not. It looks like Rangers are playing hardball and obviously want to try and get him on a pre-contract in July, when therefore he will be cheaper to buy. But it has been reported in a number of media sources that Rangers are not playing hardball and are not looking for a pre-contract, and they are trying to get him in sooner rather than later. Quite what the truth is on the matter, who knows? But it does seem that there is a commitment from Cifuentes to come to Rangers. Now, I know Brighton have reportedly been interested, but apparently the law of playing in the Champions League is what is pulling Cifuentes towards Glasgow. According to the reporter who interviewed Cifuentes, the reporter said the player is committed to head to Glasgow and play in the Champions League, which is good news, obviously. And it's like I've always said, isn't it? The pull of European football, the pull of obviously winning trophies is a massive one. And obviously the size of the club, the fact we are worldwide famous, the fact that we have 52,000 every other week for you to play in front of, the chance, the opportunity to to actually win leagues, etc., is a huge pull. And this club has a huge, massive pull worldwide, doesn't it? So at the end of the day, well, I guess we'll see over the next couple of weeks or week or so, hopefully, whether the Cifuentes deal will be pushed through by Michael Beale, James Bisgrove, and those involved with signing players at Rangers. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Obviously, we released a video earlier of Victoria at NASA. Go check that out. Thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Remember to hit the sub, ring the notification bell, and remember, guys, we are the people.